So Namhlanje, I want to be touching on a subject that is very, I can say it's
Mm.
complicated-ish, but it might help a lot of people because of
Mm.
grappling and trying to find out what's the best thing to talk about on what is it umuntu angacinga ngayo
Mm.
elele emamele Radio 537 kokwabo namhlanje, and I came to a conclusion that today let me speak about conspiracy theories versus intelligent skepticism.
Yeah. I nangakuphazamisa continue mfondini. Yeah.
Yeah, so by understanding the
Mm.
fragility of our psyche, we have a better chance of navigating better
Mm.
through these perilous times. And I got this spark from when uh, this corona thing started, and people were having theories about 5G, about this, about that. I believe we spoke about it a
Mm.
couple of times, and I wanted to put that into perspective, Namhlanje. So it's true, ne,
Mm.
that we live in conspiratorial times, ne,
Uh-huh.
where we often think that deeply sinister motives
Mm.
seem to be at work
Mm.
everywhere beneath the surface, right?
Mm.
And and no one,
Mm.
ne, no matter the position or level of intelligence, no one is entirely or absolutely beyond his superstition. Ne?
Uh-huh. Mm.
Even now, I'm sure you have your own superstitions. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but I'm going to say you have your own superstition or your own conspiracy theory. You can send a voice note and let us hear about your theory. Now,
Please,
so
abantu
Tawani,
mabathumele those conspiracy theories and let us know.
yeah, so no matter what is publicly said, we at times believe that there is something a whole lot Gaussier that is probably going on in private.
Hmm.
Ngikhumbula ngisesesikolweni, I think I was in primary
Mm.
when the Illuminati wave, I don't know if you remember
I
that,
remember, I
started to go
remember
up,
it.
and
Mm.
we were told something else, and then but we believed something else. No
Mm-hmm.
this, no that. So
Mm.
we often believe that there's something that is probably going on in private, and we nurture
Mm.
those thoughts. And now people normally believe that taking things on good faith or believing what is said,
Mm.
it's like a sure route to naivety
Oh.
and disillusion. So
Mm.
so when we start to think like that, or let me say, when people start to think like that, that's
Mm.
where we get the birth of the conspiracy theorists, because they don't want to take things at face value, right?
Mm.
So they want to have their own alternative as to
Mm.
what is really going on.
Mm.
Did the US really land on the moon?
Mm.
Are we are we living with aliens? Are we? There are many. There are many. That's why I said if they can send, and we will have a listen, not
Mm.
necessarily challenge it, but we'll have a listen on it. So now, what I think, Governor Tobani, is the real choice is not between being naive or
Mm.
taking the other hand to being a conspiracy theorist.
Mm.
But the real task here is to find the third elusive option, which is intelligent skepticism. And as
Uh-huh.
well, whether when Abratovs you are a conspiracy theorist or you are an intelligent skeptic.
I- ndawuthanda ukuthi inoba ke ndi-intelligent skeptic because andihambi nazo zonke conspiracy theories ezi.
Yeah. Whether nazi zakho conspiracy theories okucinga uba okay, they are not proven, but these are theories that I strongly believe in.
There is one for him, and in fact, it's mhlawumbi ke ndingathi yeah, phofu ke I can say it's a conspiracy theory, but even right now with everything that is going on mna andizazi ke ze-5G and ntonton and everything that is going on around i-COVID-19, but I still
Yeah,
do say ukuthi I do believe ukuthi kukhona unyawo lwemfene somewhere somehow in this whole thing.
yeah,
Eyokuba
yeah,
ke how does that actually work out uba mhlambi ke yi-5G kwaze
yeah,
kwade kwathini na, but mna I do have that thing ukuba lukhona unyawo lwemfene kuyo yonke le nto lena that is happening, because for me the dots just simply don't connect. And even when
yeah,
you watch abantu ke, you know, psychologists and clinical clinicians, they usually say ukuthi the biggest telltale in most things is watch behavior yomntu, and you can be able to tell izinto ezininzi about lo mntu or that society. And when I look at the behavior of our government, when I look at the behavior of, you know, our politicians in such a time of the COVID-19, ndishiyeka ndinemibuzo emininzi rather than questions yoman, rather than impendulo. So around
yeah, yeah.
that, I can say that that is the one ke endiyaziyo ukuthi can be labeled as a conspiracy
A
theory.
conspiracy.
Uh-huh.
Iyakho leyo mntana nami uyayiclaim. So, so let me continue, and based on what you just said, let me just say this now.
Mm.
Both these are like the intelligent skepticism
Mm.
and the conspiracy theories. They stem or start in the same place. The
Mm.
awareness that things may not be as they seem, or
Mm.
they are false, as you
Mm-hmm.
just claimed now. Yeah, the dots, they don't connect, and this in itself, it's not something wrong. It's
Mm.
not something that can be deemed as madness.
Mm.
It's the basis of many discoveries and insights
Mm.
that we as human beings have discovered
Mm.
throughout history. It's curiosity in a sense,
Mm.
right? Now, for an example,
Mm-hmm.
uh, if Dala, you came up and said that the Earth orbits around the sun,
Uh-huh.
you'll be labeled as someone who is highly delusional, right?
Mm.
Because if it's the other way around, it's the sun that
Revolves.
goes around the Earth.
Mm.
Some still believe that,
Mm.
their own theories.
The
So
others who even believe that
until
the earth is
that,
flat.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They imagine there are still people until today who believe that no, the
Mm.
Earth is flat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, those are conspiracies.
Mm.
As same one, the same way that those who believe that the Earth is the one that orbits the sun during, I think, the 14th century,
Mm.
before it was proven, they were labeled as conspiracy theories. So
Mm-hmm.
people believe that it's the other way around. Like today, ne?
Mm.
They only had what I may call it a hypothesis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the hypothesis sometimes may be outlandish and
Mm.
unpopular and still be correct as
Mm.
of the subject that I was talking about. So
Uh-huh.
we need to be very careful because it's a conspiracy theory up until it is proven.
Proven.
That's why you need to be yeah. That's why you need to be an intelligent skeptic, and you ask yourself questions more than just blindly taking things on faith and just
Mm.
believing in them because they have njengoba usitsho ngenye imini apha kum, because they have merit of some sort, but
Mm-hmm.
it lacks authenticity, right?
Uh-huh. Mm.
So what separates the intelligent skeptic from the conspiracy theories, it's not the hypothesis, right?
Mm.
But it's what they do with the hypothesis, right?
Sure.
First of all,
Mm.
you have a theory,
Uh-huh.
right?
Mm.
Of course, it will be deemed as a conspiracy theory if it's against the
Status quo.
norm, if
Mm.
I can say,
Mm-hmm.
right? If it's against what it's being told in public,
Mm-hmm.
like now we're told that um, the coronavirus into a coil and they are bulala, but there are people who say no, this is corona, it's 5G waves, they're trying to kill us, the waves kill
Yeah.
oxygen,
Mm.
blah blah blah. And I asked myself, why these waves bulali oxygen car because there are many gases that are in the atmosphere. But that's a conversation for another
Another
day.
day.
Andifuni
Mm.
ukukwatisa abantu apha.
Mm.
Andifuni ukukwatisa abantu Radio 537. Now, evidence,
Mm.
you have to know that it is a vital part of being an intelligent skeptic,
Mm.
right? Because hypotheses can't stand without evidence.
Mm.
They must be backed up with concrete proof.
Mm.
And if there's no concrete proof about something, then it's better you abandon it rather than to stick to it because of the merit that it holds.
Mm.
Because you're gonna end up like, people who uphold these hypotheses. Sometimes they feel like they are superior in some
Mm.
sort.
Mm.
Like Abayama to this bangla because they are not woke. That's
Mm.
the
Yeah,
correct
that's
term
the
they
term.
use
Mm.
nowadays. Yeah?
Mm.
That like they are not woke enough, and therefore they are deemed as, excuse me for the word, but idiots. And this is dangerous, not
Mm.
only for the person but for society, right?
Mm.
Because once you think about word to right, wonke umuntu wrong, or chances are you will take drastic measures to prove yourself right, and which is
Mm.
very dangerous. So most of these people who are like that get pissed off. They can't bear with the humiliation of being proven wrong. Though
Mm.
at times they can be right. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, what you know that is not known by others is a
Mm.
hypothesis until you are able to prove it,
Mm.
right? So, so now sometimes when these people are proven wrong, their hypothesis proves wrong, they normally can't take, the humiliation of being proven wrong. And
Uh-huh.
so for us to avoid this, we should learn to never let our wishes to overpower reality.
Mm.
You
Mm-hmm.
have your theory, the government this, the government that, but the reality of the fact is what is happening now, chances are it's 100% correct, right?
Mm.
I'm
Mm.
not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying is look at reality. If you're
Mm-hmm.
saying the earth is flat, okay, let's look at the reality of that,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so conspiracy theorists, to be one, it's not a problem of intelligence, but I think Fomna and some doctors, philosophers also believe that it's more of an emotional wound, that overpowers the higher faculties of the mind.
Mm.
So we need to understand that though this person's theory may be outrageous or outlandish, we
Mm.
need to know that lo muntu lo ayingomntu ngizothini na akusuba akabhadlanga but
Mm-hmm.
kunendlela yakhe yokucinga. And the main message behind all of this is tolerance. We have to tolerate each other because you have your own views, I have my own views. We chiefs, we pirates, ne?
Ay, 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 ay. Tijani yintoni ngoku nezinto?
So we have our
Awayindiphosa.
different we have our different opinions
Uh-huh.
in certain things, many things, but through all of this, we must be tolerant. And even more than that, we have to be respectful of what others think.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's the thought, late night thought of tonight. Yeah,
Before I let you go, I just want to poke this
yeah,
question. Ithiwani ke ngoku le
yeah, yeah,
nto
yeah.
in this case, for example, there are people who say the earth is flat, and then there are those who say no, the earth is what do you call round, and
Yeah, yeah,
both sides they are scientists, so they are saying what based on our observations as this group, we
yeah,
claim and hold on to the fact that the earth is flat. You are wrong. And the round
yeah,
earth, they are saying, Goti, yay, We are telling you the earth is round and
Is
y'all
round.
are wrong. Where do we find the balance there? Because both of these people are bringing in what we could say, because we know what scientists work with evidence. Both this side
Yeah,
is bringing in evidence and both the other side is bringing in evidence. Sometimes the evidence may not take the same form and shape, but both sides are bringing in evidence to their
evidence.
presuppositions. Itwan ke ngoku le nto
Yeah.
le.
Tough question. Tough question. But I've been around a lot of people on both sides of what you're talking about.
Huh.
Those who believe the earth is flat and
Mm.
those who believe it's round. Ne?
Mm.
And when it comes to evidence, a great friend of mine, he's listening now. I'll call Okokuzwayo.
Mm.
We got into a conversation one time where he said evidence can be manipulated, right?
Um.
So I'm not saying either side is manipulating evidence,
Mm.
but as I said before, Abba, as I was talking, I mentioned the reality of things,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
For example, the flat Earth theorists believe that the Earth is flat, and at some point you will fall off the Earth, yeah?
Mm.
Because it's flat, right?
Mm.
And it was proven wrong because the further you go is the further you will see that you still need to go. You
Mm-hmm.
not fall off. Né? There's
Yeah.
no tipping point where you
Mm.
go off. And today it's no longer just that, but we have things like satellite imagery that
Uh-huh.
show us out of space how the Earth looks like
Mm.
from out of space. And those who still believe the Earth is flat, it's more like it's their belief, but ngathi inkani nethoka inkani, but
Mm.
it's their own right to believe in what they
Mm-hmm.
want to believe. But there is a smoking gun in this case, which is satellite imagery, right?
Mm-hmm.
Satellite, what makes our phones to work, everything, TVs, it's the satellite. So
Mm.
satellite imagery, it's like an irrefutable evidence that the Earth is actually round. Up
Mm.
until they provide evidence that refutes that statement, then
Mm.
the Earth is still round for me, my brother. And as ngawe.
I for me it's because one of some of there are certain things for me that are just neither here nor there, because I'm here. I'm not going to go to the edge of the earth and try to test if okay,
Yeah,
it's round or not. As long as I'm here, that's all that matters for me. It's neither here nor there. So
right, right,
thank you so much,
right.
my brother, for the late night thought. Any closing words
Yeah.
before the coupe with a beautiful and a brilliant song, Paya?
The closing words. It's been fantastic being a resident Alpha Blue Radio 537. Late night thoughts is from Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday around this time. It's
Huh.
something to get you thinking. Classes bit is there to our thoughts run off, wonder, ask questions, and
Hmm.
productive thinking may help stimulate you better for your own success. So
Hmm.
it's great to Mamele late night thought and other features as well that are provided in this fantastic radio station. Yeah, those are my parting words.